Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me for another YouTube practice. This is the next practice in the January Root and Grow series, where we've been working through the chakras with some flows and some guided meditations. And so today we are going to be looking at the fourth chakra, Anahata. Now this chakra is located in the heart space, and this is a chakra that represents love and compassion. And it's also a central chakra, so it's where the upper and lower chakras meet. So today we'll be focusing in opening up through the heart space in this practice. And we'll start by grounding into the class. So find your way to a comfortable seated position when you're ready. I definitely recommend having some blocks, and if you have a bolster to hand, grabbing that. But you could also, if you don't have a bolster, use cushions or blankets or something else, and it'll be an option for the Shavasana at the end. So when you're ready, start to bring both hands into your heart and start to either close the eyes or take a steady gaze out in front of you. As you breathe in through your nose, start to notice how the air feels. Perhaps you can feel your rib cage expand with the breath. Observing how this heart space is feeling. Checking in with how you're feeling today. When we think about Anahata, think about love and compassion, and often we think about being loving and compassionate to others, which of course is part of what this chakra means. But a massive part of being able to do that for others is also giving it to yourself. Having love and compassion for yourself means that then spills over to the people around you. So perhaps reflecting on what that means for you. Observing any thoughts. Listening to your inhales and your exhales. Notice what your breath could be communicating to you today. Lightly press the hands into the chest. Notice how the chest moves with your breath. Start to release the hands away now, opening up the eyes, coming back into the physical body. Take a couple of shoulder rolls. And then we're going to interlace the hands and bring the hands to the back of the head and open the elbows out to the side as you open across the chest. And then on your next exhale, start to draw your chin down towards the chest and close the elbows in, rounding the spine. And as you do this, bring the belly button in towards the spine, tuck the tailbone in, so getting a deep rounding. So feeling a stretch through the back of the neck, also rounding in the spine, the shoulders. Keep breathing. On your next inhale, lift the head, open the elbows out to the side, shine the heart forwards, feeling the stretch and the opening here. And we move into this one more time. So on your next exhale, drop the head, draw the elbows in, round through the spine. So we're using the hands on the back of the head to guide the head down, but not putting too much pressure here, being very gentle with the neck and the spine. Keep breathing. Inhale, start to lift the head, open the elbows out to the side, open across the chest, and release the hands down. Start to bring the left leg out in front, right leg's bent in, sole of the right foot's on the mat, and then place the right fingertips to the mat behind you. Inhale, reach the left arm up to the sky, lift your ribs away from your hips. Exhale, twist to the right. Left arm is hugging the right knee, or it's taking the hook, coming into your Marichyasana. Follow with the gaze. Gaze is coming over the right shoulder or in that direction, and float with the breath. Inhale, lifting up and out. Exhale, sinking into the twist. Keep the left leg active, foot flexed. Really trying not to force anything. Being kind, coming back to having love and compassion for yourself, and that includes on a mental and physical level. So thinking about what your body needs in this practice, rather than what the ego is perhaps telling you that you need to do with your body or where you need to be. Letting go of expectations. Acting from this place of awareness. Start to release from the twist. Bring the right leg down, right leg's lengthened, step the left leg in. Bring the left fingertips to the mat behind you. When you're ready, inhale, sweep the right arm up to the sky, lift up and out. Exhale, twist to the left. Either hugging the knee or taking the hook, and allow your gaze to follow. Keep breathing into this space. Inhale, making space in the body. Exhale, sinking into the space you created. Use the breath as a bridge between your body and mind, bringing you back into the present moment. Slowly start to unravel. When you're ready, coming out of the twist, release the legs and start to bring the soles of the feet together. An option to have blocks here, or you could have cushions under the thighs. You could have something under the hips here. So taking any support that you need, letting the knees drop out to the side, coming into round angle. So if this is really too much for you, then you can bring your feet further away from the body, which will give you a little bit more space. Resting the arms around the ankles. Inhale, reach the crown of your head to the ceiling. Exhale, lead with the chest, start to come forwards into a fold. This could be a very subtle range of movement. So really prioritizing the length and the strength of the spine above, coming deeper into the fold. Be where you are today. On each inhale, keep lifting and lengthening, and on the exhale, releasing, letting go. Allowing your breath to lead you in your practice. So leading with the breath, following with the body, and observing with the mind. So we're opening through the hip space, through Shavasana. Inhale, start to come up from the fold. You could use your hands here to draw the knees back in together, and then bring yourself into a tabletop position on your mat, taking any support that you need under the knees. So hips are above the knees, and then start to, from here, walk the hands out in front as you melt the chest and the forehead down to the mat for Anamahasana puppy pose. Keep breathing here. Make sure that the hips are staying above the knees. So all this movement is really coming from the spine and the shoulders, not moving the hips. Start to walk the hands back in, coming out of puppy pose. Then from your tabletop position, we'll start to tuck the toes under and walk the feet in towards the hands, lifting the hands away. And feet are roughly hip width apart, toes pointing forwards. Start to option to take the interlace here behind the back. And then come into your forward fold. This is just an option. If this arm and hand variation does not work for you, then you can let the hands hang heavy. Take as much softness in the legs as you need to. Round through the balls of the feet, press through the mounds of your big toes. Make any gentle movement that feels good to you here, and really release the head and the neck. Let gravity do the work. Really let go. So we're stretching through the lower body here, through the spine, across the chest and the shoulders, but releasing the head and the neck. And start to bring the hands away from the interlace. Keep as much bend as you need to through the legs and curl the body up to standing. Head is coming up last. Take some deep in breaths here. When you're ready, meeting into Tadasana mountain pose, rounding through the feet. Checking in with your foot foundations, making sure that the feet are nice and straight and aligned. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, lift your ribs away from your hips. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forwards. Bend the legs as much as you need to. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands down on the mat, step the feet back. Work through your version of Chaturanga. I'm going to do the modified version. If you want to do the full version, you absolutely can. So dropping the knees down on the exhale, lowering your body down to the mat. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, peel your chest away from the mat, cobra. Opening through the heart space here in your cobra. Activate the lower body to support the spine. Exhale, melt your chest back down to the mat. Inhale, start to ground through your hands. Lift the body away. On the exhale, send your hips to the sky for downward facing dog, or take a child's pose. Relax the head and the neck, send your gaze between your knees, and remember that you could bend the legs or come up on the toes as much as you need to. The most important thing is the spine and getting the length in the spine. Sometimes bending through the legs in downward facing dog, lifting the hips to the sky, pressing the mat away from you with your hands and then starting to draw the heels down towards the mat can really help. So give that a go. Reconnect to your breath. Option for child's pose. And on your next inhale, step or walk the feet in towards the hands, and then lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, grow the spine tall. Exhale, bring your hands through to heart center. Now from here, start to ground through the left foot and step your right foot back to high lunge. Remember, this back leg does not have to be straight. Check that your front knee is in line with the ankle. Check you can see your big toe. Find your foundations. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Lift up and out of the waist. Exhale, float the hands down. Maybe you find an interlace behind the back. Open across the chest. Shine the heart forwards. On each in-breath, keep lifting up and out of the waist. So we're lifting and opening. Option from here, you can either release the hands, bring the hands down to blocks, use the hands to support you here, or if you want a little bit of a challenge, you can keep the interlace and see how it feels to drop the back right knee down to the mat and release the foot, making this into a low lunge. Really activate through the left thigh and the left glutes to support. So maybe coming back a bit from your low lunge first, finding the activation and then sinking in. Release the hands from the interlace. You could be having your hands on blocks here and working here, or take a deep inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, lift up and out of the waist. Exhale, cactus the arms, open across the chest, shine the heart forwards. And release the hands down. Option to be working with blocks here or having the hands on the mat. And we shift the right hip back and we start to bring the left toes away from the mat, coming into our half split position. So this left leg doesn't have to be straight. Definitely recommend blocks or books here to support you, to bring the mat or the ground up closer to you and give you space so you can keep this lovely space across the chest, keep the spine long. Maybe fingertips are coming to the mat. And we're breathing here. Inhaling and exhaling. Sending your breath down the back of the left leg as it's opening up. Start to shift the weight forwards, back into this front leg. And then tuck the right toes under. Option to either use your hands here on the mat to ground as you activate through the back leg first and then bring the hands away. Or maybe you're coming into Anjali Mudra, powering up through the back right leg, coming back to your high lunge. It really doesn't matter how you get there. Remembering love and compassion for yourself, for this practice, for however your body is acting today. Just accepting where you're at right now. And then step the right leg in and we'll ground here into Dasana for a moment. So you could close off the eyes here or take a steady gaze, bring the arms to the side of the body, ground into the feet. Let your shoulder blades run down your back as you relax your shoulders. Notice any sensations in the hands or the fingertips. Notice your in-breaths and your out-breaths. Start to open the eyes back up if you had them closed. This time grounding through the right foot. Step your left foot back. Find your high lunge. Check your foot foundations. Check what this right leg's doing. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Lift up and out of the waist. Exhale, float the hands down. Option to take the interlace here. You could be instead reaching the fingertips out behind you and finding space across the chest. Taking the option that feels right for you. And then again, option to keep the hands in the interlace, or you can release the hands and use them to support you here. You're going to drop the left knee down to the mat, come into a low lunge. Maybe sit back for a moment, engage the right thigh, engage the right glute. Then in a supported and stable way, sinking into your low lunge. Check your front knee is in line with the ankle. Keep breathing here. Start to release the hands from the interlace. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up to the sky, lift up and out of the waist. Exhale, cactus the arms, shine the heart forwards. Keep breathing into this space. Option to bring the fingertips down. Maybe they're coming to blocks here. Maybe they're coming to the mat. And we shift the left hip back. Start to bring the right toes away. So we're flexing through the right foot and stretching through the back of the right leg. But just remembering this right leg doesn't need to be straight. This is a very strong place to be. So breathing into the stretch. Keep space across the chest, spine long. And if that means that you need some blocks or books to come up higher here to get that space, then definitely work with that option. Slowly start to shift the weight back into the right leg, either using the hands on the mat or bring the hands into Anjali Mudra, tuck the left toes under, power up back to your high lunge. Well done. Step the left foot back in, meeting in Tadasana again here at the top of your mat. Round through the feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky, lift the crown of your head to the ceiling. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold, soften the legs as much as you need to. Inhale, lift the chest and lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, float the hands down to the mat, step the feet back. Drop the knees down as you exhale, lower your body down so that you're lying on your belly. Inhale, roll your shoulders back. Peel the chest away from the mat, cobra. Activate the lower body. Exhale, release the chest back down. And then we're going to come into a Sphinx here. So on your next inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, and staying on the forearms, bring the elbows roughly under the shoulders, palms are down on the mat, come into your Sphinx position. So keep your gaze coming forwards, keep the shoulders rolled back, space across the chest, breathing here, light activation in the glutes and the legs. Opening into this light spinal extension here. On your next exhale, lower the chest back down to the mat, send the elbows out to the side, rest your head on your hands, option to close the eyes for a moment. Try and relax the whole body. Become heavy on the mat. Opening the eyes back up. We're going to start to bend the legs in here and bring the arms to the side of the body. So bending the legs in. And then if your hands are able to reach your feet, then bring the hands to the feet now. If they don't, that's absolutely fine. Just bend the legs in and keep the arms to the side of the body. So doesn't matter which option you take, it's taking what feels right for you. And then on your next inhale, we're going to lift the chest away from the mat. And breathing here. If your hands aren't reaching your feet, start to see how it feels to lift the hand away from the mat, fingertips coming out behind you. If this does not feel right for you, then you can come back to your Sphinx pose that we were just working with and work there. So coming into a half bow pose here. Exhale, release the chest down. Release the legs and the hands. Again, breathing here. Relaxing the body into the mat. And then this time, bending the legs back in, maybe the hands lifting the feet. On the inhale, start to lift the chest away from the mat, and maybe you're also starting to bring the lower body away, coming into bow pose. So pressing the feet into the hands and the hands into the feet, engaging through the glutes and the legs. If your hands aren't reaching your feet, you can be bringing your hands away from the mat and seeing how it feels to lift the thighs away from the mat. Maybe flexing through the feet and pressing the feet up towards the sky. So working with this option here, or you could be working in your Sphinx. So really thinking about which option of the pose is going to serve you. Breathing into it. Relax the face, the jaw. Even try and crack a smile. This is really strengthening the muscles in the posterior chain, the back body. The muscles supporting our spine, and we're opening through the heart. Exhale, release. Release the body back down, release the legs. Rest your head on your hands. Let everything melt into the mat. Taking as much time as you need, gently roll over onto your back. Allow the spine to settle here for a moment. Option to come into reconstructive rest position here. So take the soles of your feet to the outside of your mat, knees are bent, and let the knees drop in together. You might notice that this allows the lower spine to connect more closely to the mat, so our lumbar spine can feel more supportive. Sometimes this is a nice option for Shavasana. So seeing how it feels here, this might be the option that you want to go for today. If you would like to work into a heart-opening Shavasana to finish off the practice, grab your bolster, or you can prop up some cushions, blankets. Just make sure that whatever you're using, that it's going to be supporting your spine, but also your neck and your head. And then we've got the option to come back into your bound angle position with the legs here as well. So we're opening through the hips, we're opening through Svadhisthana and also through Anahata here. So bound angle we did earlier today, it's bringing the soles of the feet together and knees out to the side. And then we're going to combine this with a heart opener. But just remembering there's options, really using your intuition, knowing your body and which option that you need today. So if you're coming into your heart opening Shavasana, taking this bound angle position, you could be propping things under your thighs here to support you, and then allowing the spine and the head and the neck to rest on your bolster, and bring your arms out to the side, feeling that lovely juicy opening across the chest and the shoulders, really opening energetically through this heart space. Start to close the eyes or take a steady gaze. Notice your in breaths and your out breaths. Continue to observe your thoughts. Maybe coming into a place of awareness for this love and compassion that Anahata represents. Thinking about what this means for you. On your exhales, really thinking about releasing, letting go, surrendering. Allowing any resistance and tension in the body to melt away. Notice any parts of you holding on. Give those parts permission to really let go. We often store a lot of emotions in the hips and the heart space. So depending on what's alive for you today, really honoring any feelings that come up. And we'll slowly start to come out of Shavasana. But as always, if you have time to stay for longer, then please do. So using your hands to support you, to come away from the heart opening position, rolling your bolster away, making your way slowly back to a seated position on the mat. Keeping the eyes closed, bring your hands to heart center, one hand on top of the other. We'll take a releasing breath here. So inhaling through the nose for 1, 2, 3. Exhale, release out through the mouth. Sigh it all out. Start to release the hands and open the eyes when you're ready, coming back into the physical body. Take as much time as you need. I always recommend journaling. Sometimes after practice, especially when we're working with opening in the hips and the heart space. And I hope you enjoyed that. I will be back with another flow for this January series, Root and Grow, very soon. There's a link below to my membership. If you want to continue doing these kinds of flows after January, then do have a look on there. I would love for you to come and be part of the Thankful Flow community with me, or join me for live practices. So yes, thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you again very soon. Bye bye.